my name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be one of my Sunday sewing catch-ups and we're on episode 76. I've got lots of different things that I want to share with you today, including lots of things that I've been busy sewing. I've also got some fabric, I've got a pattern that I've got my eye on, I've got some sewing plans, and then I've also got a YouTube vlogger to talk about as well. So before I dive into all of that, I'll let you know what I'm wearing. I am wearing quite a relaxed outfit today, still taking part in Me Made May, and I will be sharing this over on Instagram a little bit later, but I'm in the middle of getting ready for a market, so I needed something that felt quite comfortable, that I could move around in quite easily. I've chucked my hoodie on. I will probably get a little bit too warm in my hoodie, so I'll take it off, but I need to pop out to the shops, which is why I've got my hoodie on, and I've got trainers on as well, but I will swap my trainers for my slippers, so it's even more comfortable to help me with all the cake prep that I've got to do. I'll put some pictures in of some of the cakes. I hope you don't mind me sharing the cakes. Some people really like it and ask for recipes and things, so apologies if it's not something that you want to be seeing. I don't talk about it a huge amount, but I do share over on Instagram if you're interested, and I've got a couple of recipes that I still need to share. I think I asked, was it last weekend or the weekend before, I think I asked what recipe people wanted sharing next, and I haven't got around to sharing that yet. So I'm wearing a Tilly and the Buttons Stella hoodie and Tilly and the Buttons Stella joggers from the Stretch book, I think it is. And this amazing sweatshirting fabric was from Hey Sew Sister. The hoodie has got a hood that looks like that, and then there's drawstring to make it tighter, and I've just lined it with some grey sort of sweatshirting, or actually I think it was grey ribbing that I've lined it with. I've used the same fabric for the cuffs, and then I added a hemband. You're not supposed to add a hemband, well the pattern doesn't call for adding a hemband, but I like having a hemband, so I added a hemband, and I've got the kangaroo pocket pouch, and then I added a Paige Joanna label that says happiness is handmade, so I usually tuck that under. And then the joggers, I've got the same drawstring that I've got on the hood, on the hoodie, sorry. Pockets, quite close fitting actually in terms of the joggers. And then they've got a cuff, an ankle cuff at the bottom. You can just see my trainers there and my stripy socks. So that is what I'm wearing. Very, very comfortable. Like I said, I'll probably end up taking this off. I've just got like a shop bought vest underneath. So I will probably end up taking this off when I get down to doing a little bit more cake making and decorating. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing. So on to what I've been busy sewing up this week. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a skirt that I've been saying I was going to sew up for ages. In fact, I cut this out as part of the Sew Frugal challenge that was happening over on Instagram a while ago. And then I just never got round to sewing it up for no reason whatsoever. It's quite a simple, straightforward make. And I sewed it up a few days ago, and actually it took me about an hour to sew it up. It's a really straightforward pattern. It's a free pattern by the Little Pomegranate, and the pattern is the Sabina skirt, and I've got the pattern here actually. So this is what it looks like. It's a really simple elasticated waist skirt. There's a ruffle on the bottom, and then you've got these really lovely like slanted pockets. It's an absolutely gorgeous skirt. I've made so many of them and I really love it. It's a free pattern by the Little Pomegranate. It's aimed at beginners, and it's designed for woven fabrics. Comes in sizes UK 6 to 34. There's a line drawing so you can see a little bit more detail. Really love the ruffle. It's a really lovely simple skirt, and it goes with so many different things. In terms of fabric recommendations, they recommend light to medium weight woven fabrics like a cotton lawn, poplin, shirting, seersucker and linen. And then if you want a more drapey look, then a viscose, rayon, tencel, twill and crepe. And this is a viscose crepe, the fabric that I've used. And then you also need some elastic as well. So the fabric is a fabric I've had in my stash for years. I got it from Rainbow Fabrics absolutely ages ago. It's a really lovely drapey, lightweight viscose crepe, and it's got these poppy flowers all over it. Let me just see if I'm showing you. I want to show you the front. It's very difficult to tell because the fabric's black, but yeah, that's the front. Elastic in the front, and then you've got elastic in the back. The difference with the front is you've got the pocket detail, which is just here on either side, and the pockets are really lovely and deep, and you French seam the pockets, and there's the option to French seam all of the skirt if you want to. It's a really lovely length, and then you've got that gorgeous ruffle on the bottom. So I think this is going to really add to my wardrobe. I feel like this might be more of like an autumn skirt, but actually at the moment I am still needing to wear like tights to work. So I could wear this to work with some tights, trainers or my ankle boots, and then just a simple t-shirt tucked in, and then a cardigan. I'm really needing to layer up at the moment. I'm finding in the mornings it's a little bit chilly, so I do need those extra layers, but by the afternoon when the sun's out it feels a little bit warmer, so quite often I can lose the jacket or lose the cardigan. So I'm really thrilled that I have finally got that sewn up. I've dug it out of my work in progress box, and I don't even know why I procrastinated over sewing it up. I think I just got really excited about sewing other things. So that's the first thing that I've been sewing up, and that was a really speedy make actually. Quite a few of the things that I've been sewing up this week have been quite speedy makes. So the next thing that I'll share with you is the tassel jumper that I wanted to sew up as part of the Sew Recreate the Look challenge over on Instagram. As usual, I wanted to take part in all the challenges and just didn't realistically have enough time to take part in everything. So I overplanned, but I knew that I wanted to get this jumper sewn up at some point, and the coat, the colour blocked coat that I keep going on about, I definitely want to get that sewn up at some point as well. So the jumper was a relatively straightforward sew. In the end, I went for the Studio Jepson's Wow, the ladies' Wow jumper. So I realised on looking over on the Aesthetic Laundry website, you could get different variations on the jumper. And the jumper that I fell in love with had drop shoulder, drop shoulder sleeves. That's what they're called. And the ruffle, not the ruffle, the tassels were inserted into the drop shoulder bit. You could also buy it as a regular sort of sweatshirting with like regular sleeves as well, but I really liked the drop shoulder look. So I used the Studio Jepson Wow jumper, but instead of inserting the ruffle into the dropped shoulder section, I inserted the tassels. And I'm really, really pleased with how this has turned out. I absolutely love this. As soon as I put it on, it sounds really silly, but I just want to shake my shoulders so that the tassels move. But yeah, here it is. I'll put pictures in of me wearing it. I've worn it already with some jeans, and I absolutely love everything about this jumper. So the sweatshirt fabric was from Pound Fabrics. It was fairly cheap. It's got like a fleece texture on the inside. I went with a Specky Seamstress label that says sewing is my superpower, which I absolutely love. And then both of the drop shoulders have exactly the same cotton jersey sewn into the seams. That was a bit faffy and a bit fiddly. I just wanted to make sure that I had enough of the strips. They're all different lengths, and I quite like the look of them being all different lengths. I was going to trim them to make sure that they were all the right length, but actually I quite like them being a bit higgledy-piggledy. And I looked at the original image, but actually I wanted more colours, so I've gone with more than what the original image had. So I just started with red, orange, yellow, green, 2 shades of green. There's navy blue, pink, light blue, a really bright pink, and a purple. And then I just repeated that on the other side, and then I've done exactly the same on the other sleeve. So it's an exact copy of that side. And at the front, you get that gorgeous glimmer of the rainbow, and then you also get the same at the back, and it just adds a really fun feature to a simple sweatshirt. Ruby and Lola have both requested their own versions of the tassel jumper, and I've got plenty of these jersey scraps left as well. So the way that I approached the jersey scraps was they're 1 centimetre wide. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, they're 1 centimetre wide, and then I think I went for about 10 centimetres in length, but some of them seem to be a little bit longer. So if I hold up the jumper, once I'd cut all of them out, I then lay them on top of the shoulder seam, and then I basted them in place, and then I inserted the sleeve, and then it just created this gorgeous tassel detail where they've all been secured in place, and I did the same on the other side as well. It took quite a long time to do it because I had to lay them out, and then when I and then when I basted them, I then had a look at the jumper to see how they would lay, and some of them I did have to move along a little bit because I ended up with a few gaps, but they're all sort of overlapped now, so it means that there are no gaps. So I'm really, really pleased with how that's turned out. And I've got orders for 2, 1 for Rubes and 1 for Lola. And I've got some of that sweatshirting fabric left, and I've got plenty of this jersey left as well to make them copies. So I'm looking forward to them matching me. And then the next thing I've been sewing, I've seen a couple of these pop up over on Instagram, and it's the By Hand London ruffle bag, and I sewed a couple up last week and I shared them with you. I've actually taken those into school for the children to use, and they've absolutely loved using them in the home corner. As predicted, they've been stuffing all kinds of things in there and travelling around the classroom with them, but it's been really lovely to see them using the bags. And then I wanted to have a go at sewing up a smaller, and I've seen a couple of the smaller versions over on Instagram where people have just drawn around their phone and then created pattern pieces going off the measurement of their phone. So I did that with my purse and my phone, and then I just used some green denim that I had left over from some jeans that I'd sewn up, and then this gorgeous large scale green gingham fabric that I had left over from a summer dress I sewed last summer. And I've sewn up a really cute little ruffle bag using the By Hand London pattern, and then yeah, just drawing around my phone and my purse, and it's really cute. And then I like wearing bags that cross over my body, so I've got a handbag like that, so I just use the strap measurements from that, and yeah, I think it's really cute. And then I've just got a prim snap fasten just to give it a bit of security, and then it's lined with the gingham fabric. I think it's really, really cute and just a really fun practical bag. So I'm definitely going to sew up a few more of those. I've got some plain denim fabric, and then I've also got some linen fabric that I think would work really nicely. I've got some lilac denim that I've cut out a regular sized ruffle bag with offcuts of a fabric that I'm using for a fibre mood pattern, which I'll share a bit later. So I'm going to sew that up as well, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that one. So I've got a pattern for a regular sized ruffle handbag, and then I've got a pattern now for sort of a mini version to hold like my purse and my phone as well. And then the next thing that I've been sewing up has been some gifts for friends who have got babies due. So I've been using a couple of tried and tested patterns by Poppy and Jazz, which is part of the Sew Over It company. They do a children's wear sort of side to Sew Over It called Poppy and Jazz. The first pattern that I've used is the strawberry sweatshirt pattern, which comes in 0 to 6 years. And then I've also been using the trouser pattern, which is the tangerine trousers. So I have got the pattern for the tangerine trousers printed, but I don't have the pattern for the strawberry sweatshirt printed. And the tangerine trousers come in 0 to 24 months. You can have this option to put like feet on the bottom, or you can have the option to just make some really cute little trousers without the feet. If I can find the line drawings to show you. Here are the line drawings. So you can have this version, which has got the little feet on, or version 2, which don't have the little feet on. And this is the version that I've gone for. And I've used some sweatshirting fabric that I got from Rainbow Fabrics in this really gorgeous animal print. How super cute is that? I've gone for 3 to 6 months because the babies are due at the end of May. So I thought by the time the weather starts to cool down, they'll be sort of 3 to 6 months. And I found when I had Ruby and Lola that I got loads of like newborn stuff and older stuff, but not necessarily much for 3 to 6 months. So I've gone for 3 to 6 months in the hope that that's the right age and the right size. So yeah, really cute little sweatshirt, strawberry sweatshirt, and then some gorgeous matching tangerine trousers. I just think they're absolutely adorable together. And then I've also done a little pansy dress because one of my friends is having a boy and one of my friends is having a girl. So I had some of this fabric left over and I've done a little pansy dress. I just think it's so cute. And again, 3 to 6 months. And then I've also had some of this, oh, there must be a jumper there. I had some of this fleece back sweatshirting fabric from, I think this was from Reversible Fabrics. With like heart print, yeah, it was from Reversible Fabrics, heart print all over it. I've sewn up a little strawberry sweatshirt, 3 to 6 months, super cute. Look how tiny the cuffs are. They were absolutely adorable to sew up. So a little jumper, and then some matching tangerine trousers as well. And again, I just think they're so cute together, absolutely gorgeous. And then I had a little bit of that fabric from Reversible Fabrics left. So I used the Waves and Wild baby bandana bib pattern to sew up a couple of the bibs using offcuts as well. So I can just imagine a very cool baby wearing the sweatshirt and the little bandana bib and the little tangerine trousers. I just think that's such a gorgeous little outfit. And I'm going to gift one of these to one friend and then another one to another friend. And I think this would still go with the animal print as well because it's kind of animal print. I know it's hearts, but it's kind of animal print. I love making baby clothes. They come together really quickly and they're just really, really cute as well, and really, really fun to sew up. So I'm really excited about being able to gift those clothes. And then I talked about this last weekend, but my True Bias Riley dungarees, which were in the needle cord with the strawberries all over, I needed to add buttonholes and I needed to add buttons, and I did manage to get those sewn last weekend, and I have actually worn them to work. Absolutely loved wearing them. They were super comfortable. So I'm pleased that I've got the buttonholes and the buttons inserted into those dungarees. I'll put some pictures in so you can see what they look like. And then the final thing that I've been sewing up this week is a bucket hat. And I talked about this in the Selfless Sew vlog, where I shared lots of different ideas of things that you could sew up for people. So I've sewn up a bucket hat for my husband. I haven't sewn one up for myself or Ruby or Lola yet. I'm still waiting for them to decide what fabric they want. And I need to decide what fabric I want as well. But my husband chose, I had some of this mustard denim left over. And then I also had some gingham fabric. So the gingham is the lining, and the lovely thing about this bucket hat is it's reversible, so he could wear it that way or he could wear it that way. I think he's going to prefer to wear it that way. It was a really, really enjoyable sew this. Came together really nicely. I'll pop it on so you can see what it looks like. I'll see if my husband will let me take photos of him wearing it as well. It's a little bit too big for me, but yeah. I sewed up, I think I sewed up the adult, I think there was like an adult medium. Yeah, medium adult. I sewed that size up for him and it fits him really nicely. I will probably sew up a small adult for me. So it's a head circumference that's 2 centimetres smaller than his head. I actually have quite a small head. And I think when I measured myself, I fit in the 7 to 12-year-old head circumference band. Which is 54 centimetres, so we'll see. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed sewing this up. So you have a outer rim and an inner rim pattern piece, and then you have this section of the hat. You do an outer fabric and a lining fabric, and then you have the top part of the hat where you do one of the outer and one of the lining. Really lovely technique of adding these sort of lines to the rim. I really, really enjoyed sewing that part, and I think it gives a really lovely feature of the hat. So these are the line drawings of the finished hat, and it was a really enjoyable construction. So you start off by constructing the rim, and then there's the option to do these lines going all the way around, and I really like that effect. I think it gives you a really lovely sort of bucket hat detail when you're doing that. So you sew up that section, then you construct this section and this section. Then you construct this section, and then you attach this section of the hat with the top part of the hat, and then you attach it to the rim, and then you leave a gap with the lining so that you can pull the hat the right way through. And then you can either close the hole by hand stitching, or you can add some top stitching detail around the edge of the hat, which is what I chose to do. I think there's a thread there, as always. Yeah, I chose to top stitch all the way along because, again, it gives a really lovely, neat finish, and that's how you close the hole. And then that makes the hat completely reversible as well. I really like this side of the hat, but I know that my husband really likes that side of the hat. So I'm looking forward to sewing up more of these. They were a lot more straightforward than I thought they were going to be, and a really, really enjoyable sew. And it's a free pattern as well, which is amazing. So I would definitely rate the Waves and Wild Sandcastle bucket hat. And the great thing about this hat is it comes in newborn up to adult extra large as well. And I would say it's true to size. It fits my husband really nicely, and he's really pleased with how it looks on him as well. So I'm definitely going to make some more. One for me, one for Rubes, and one for Lola as well. And then the other thing that I've been busy making a start on, I haven't got it finished. I'm nowhere near finished because I think it's going to be quite a complicated make, is the Fibre Mood Nina dress that I talked about last weekend. So I have got it cut out in this absolutely gorgeous cotton fabric that I got from Rainbow Fabrics. I love those pink flowers against that green. and I've kind of rejigged the order of the pattern instructions. So I chose to get the Fibre Mood Nina dress pattern copy shop printed with the fold line. I bought the pattern with them and then got it copy shop printed, and it took me ages to work out whether I had to add the seam allowance or not. But when you get it copy shop printed, the seam allowance is already included for you, because I know with most of the Fibre Mood patterns you have to add the seam allowance, but I was relieved to find out that when you copy shop print you don't have to add the seam allowance, which was great. So I looked on Instagram for images, particularly around this pleating on the front and the pleating on the back, because there's a couple of things that I found. I got it copy shop printed, which was great because it meant I didn't need to add the seam allowances. But what I have found with the pattern pieces, when they came, I found that they weren't labelled, they were just numbered. So you can see this has just got number 1 on it, but it didn't actually tell you what number 1 was in reference to making the pattern. So the first thing I did was go around and label all of the pattern pieces. So the number 1 pattern piece is the front of the dress. So I had to label all of the pattern pieces. And then you can see I've got all these markings on the front pattern piece, going down the side, going down the middle, and going down this side as well. And that is to mark the pleats, because they don't give you any markings for the pleats. They tell you roughly how many pleats you need for the front and the back, but you don't have any markings or measurements. And then what you also get told to do in the instructions is the pleats at the top, have I got this the right way around? Yeah, the pleats at the top need to be narrower than the pleats at the bottom. So the pleats at the bottom pretty much go across the pattern piece, but as you get towards the top they get narrower, and I think it's about 6 centimeters or 7 centimeters it tells you to stop by. I've got a little line here, I don't know if you can see, where I need to stop that pleat when I get to the top. So there's been a lot of maths involved, and I haven't even started really pleating the fabric. I made a start last night actually. I've started to pleat the first part of the front pattern piece. So I've got 2 of the front pattern piece to pleat and 2 of the back pattern pieces to pleat, and they all need between, I think it was like 22 and 25 pleats in total, so that's going to take me a really long time. What I will say is I'm really pleased that I had experience of doing this method of the pleats, because it's very similar to the Marnie blouse, which is a tilly and the buttons pattern, and I've just done the pin tucks on the yoke at the front and also on the sleeves of that, and that helped me to really understand that technique of the Fibre Mood Nina dress. I've spent so long like zooming in on images on Instagram to have a look at the pleats just to check that I'm doing them correctly. So I'm going to take my time with that pattern, and I think I really am going to need to take my time. I'm really excited about sewing it up because I think it's going to look gorgeous in that fabric once I've got it sewn up. But yeah, I rejigged the order because I'd spent ages figuring out the maths of marking the pleats and things, that I just wanted to actually get on and do a little bit of sewing with it that wasn't the pleats. So I've constructed the skirt because that made me feel like I was making progress. I don't know if anyone else does that sometimes when they're sewing, particularly when you know that it's going to be quite a complicated sew. I just wanted to have a little bit of the pattern actually sewn up. So here is the skirt, and I've got gathers at the top, but I just need to pull the gathers in ever so slightly and adjust them. And it has got pockets, so I've got the pockets in. I've literally just constructed the front and the back and then put the pockets in as well. That's it. But I can already tell that skirt just looks absolutely gorgeous in that fabric. So I am very, very excited about getting this dress sewn up. I just know that the pleats are going to take me a very long time. So that's everything that I've been busy sewing up, and I've got one sort of work in progress, which is the Nina dress, which I'm looking forward to carrying on with this week. And then I've got plans to sew up a few things which I'll talk about at the end. So the next thing I wanted to share with you is some fabric that I've been buying. So I've got fabric from Felicity Fabrics, and then I've also got fabric from Sew Me Sunshine. So let's start with Sew Me Sunshine. So I picked up some activewear fabric, and in this absolutely gorgeous, like squiggly, kind of pastel-y, kind of neon-y sort of effect fabric. I've only got 1 metre of this, and it's definitely going to become some kind of leggings. So I've got a tried and tested pattern that I love to sew up, and that's the Sew Over at Hubie leggings. But I feel like I might try a different pattern just to see what the other legging patterns are like out there. So if anyone's got any suggestions of leggings patterns that you have used the pattern for and you would recommend, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I'd really love to turn this amazing active wear fabric from Sew Me Sunshine into some leggings. I've got quite a few pairs of the Hubie leggings which I wear to work, and I also wear when I go out for a run as well, and I just think this will make a really fun pair of leggings. So please let me know if you've got a leggings suggestion. Let me know in the comments below. It's got a really lovely amount of stretch and recovery, and it's got a really lovely sort of soft sheen to it as well. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love all of those colours. They did sell out of this one, but Sew Me Sunshine, I've got loads of activewear fabric. I found it really hard to only buy one activewear fabric. They've got this gorgeous, from memory, I think it's like a floral fabric. I'll put a picture in of the one that I've fallen in love with, but I have resisted. But yeah, I did get this one because I thought it'd make a really fun, bright, colourful pair of leggings. Which I know the children would love to see me wearing when I go to school with my PE kit. And then the other fabric I couldn't resist. Again, this is sold out, but look at those colours. Absolutely gorgeous. It's like a purpley pink. It's like a really bright sort of pink. And then it's got this gorgeous green, and I love the different sort of shapes on there as well. I got 2.5 meters of this fabric. I'm not sure what pattern I'm going to turn it into yet, but I couldn't resist this fabric as soon as I saw those colours. I just think they're absolutely stunning together. This is a cotton fabric, so it hasn't got a huge amount of drape. So I feel like this would work so nicely with like a statement sleeve. But yeah, it's going to go in my stash for now until the right pattern comes along, and I feel a little bit, I do feel inspired to sew it up. I just don't know what pattern I would turn it into yet. So I'm just going to pop it in my stash for now. But how gorgeous are those colours together? Absolutely beautiful. So those are the two fabrics from Sew Me Sunshine. I have still managed to resist that gorgeous embroidered pink fabric which I shared last weekend. My birthday is coming up in June, so I think, fingers crossed, that fabric will stay in stock long enough for me to request it for my birthday. And then on to the fabric from Felicity Fabrics. So the first one is a gorgeous like peacock printed fabric. And this is a viscose jersey. It's absolutely stunning. Look at those colours, just absolutely beautiful. And it's got a really gorgeous amount of drape. I think I'm going to turn this into the Sew Over at Estelle dress, which is like this gorgeous knit dress which has got side slits, and then it's got this really gorgeous like waist tie. That's what I've bought this fabric with that pattern in mind, and it moves so nicely, this jersey fabric, absolutely beautiful. If Felicity Fabrics have got any of this left in stock, I'll link it down below. And don't forget, with Felicity Fabrics, because I blog with them, I've got a discount code that you can use to get 10% off, which is Liz10. I bought this when they had 30% off because Fliss had just turned 30, so I used a discount code to get 30% off. I absolutely love that fabric. I love how it moves. I love the colours. I love that peacock pattern all over it as well. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then the other fabric that I got from them was, I was going to buy a couple of meters of their glittery like tulle fabric, which I'd bought from them ages ago. But then they had this pack of tulle fabric, which is forest green in colour. So it was 9 meters for £18, and I wanted some more tulle because I'm going to do a tutorial on how I sewed up the New Craft House everyday waistcoat with all the scraps inside. I'm going to do a video tutorial on how I did that. So I wanted some tulle, and actually this turned out to be the best, the best value for buying the tulle, because I know that I'll use the rest to make like skirts and things. So I bought some of the forest green tulle fabric. So a tutorial will come at some point for the New Craft House waistcoat that I did. I'll put a picture in if you're not sure what I'm talking about. But I had loads of people request a video tutorial, so I will be filming that at some point. That's why I bought the tulle fabric. So those are all of the things that I have been buying. Now on to a new YouTube vlogger, and it's the lovely Sam, who is Sequin Girly over on Instagram, and that's what her YouTube channel is as well. She's just started a YouTube channel. She's got, I think, 5 or 6 videos on her YouTube channel at the moment. She likes to use lots of bright and fun and colourful fabrics and things too. She shares lots of things on her Instagram, but she's also got lots of videos where she's been sharing her makes too. Her videos are really lovely and really enjoyable to watch. So I'll leave a link to her channel down below. If you could head over and give her a little follow, I know it would give her a little boost. I know I really appreciated it when I was first starting my channel, because it can feel quite nerve-wracking when you're first putting videos out. To be honest, I still get that feeling now when I put videos out. I still get that nerve-wracking feeling of, are people going to be interested in what I've got to say? So please do go and head over to Sequin Girly's Instagram and also YouTube channel and give her a little follow. I love finding new YouTube vloggers, and I know when I first started vlogging, I really appreciated it when people did a little shout out and mentioned my channel. So I'm always really happy to do the same. Please do head over and give Sam a little follow. She's Sequin Girly on Instagram and Sequin Girly on her YouTube channel. And then the next thing I wanted to share with you, I haven't bought this pattern yet. I'm holding out for the fold line because they sell the Fibre Mood magazines on the fold line, but then later on, I'm not sure how long it takes for the patterns to get onto the fold line website, but they do sell the patterns separately. So I have bought a couple of Fibre Mood magazines before, but actually I am not a fan of tracing the patterns, and I know that you can get them printed, I think, but I much prefer copy shop printing. I don't really enjoy sticking PDFs together, and I also don't really enjoy having to add the seam allowance to patterns either. So I'm holding out for the fold line to get this pattern on their website so that I can just copy shop print it with them. And the pattern that I've fallen in love with from the recent Fibre Mood magazine is the Nonna top. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Nona. It's this absolutely beautiful V-neck front and back blouse. It's got this absolutely gorgeous, I didn't realise it was a flounce, but it's got this beautiful like flounce that creates this volume at the front and back, and the flounce is attached to the lining, and that creates this gorgeous like balloon effect. It is so beautiful. It's also got a zip which is neatly concealed on the left side seam. It comes in sizes 32 to 60. You can print it A4 or AO. And in terms of fabric, they recommend stiffer fabrics like a poplin, batiste and organza. And I've got some organza coming in the post, which I think would look absolutely stunning in this as this pattern. And then I've also got some red heart kind of beautiful like organza that I got from Rainbow Fabrics in February when they did their Valentine's drop, which I think would look absolutely gorgeous as this blouse. It's such a beautiful pattern. I'll put pictures in so you can see what I mean about this beautiful like balloon effect detail. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really excited about getting that pattern. I'm just holding out for it to be on the fold line as a separate pattern that you can buy. And there's so many beautiful versions in the new Fibre Mood magazine, but that one in particular just really stood out for me. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And then I always like to finish with my sewing plans. So I'm going to be carrying on with the Fibre Mood Nina dress, and I'm really hoping that I'll be able to get that sewn up by next weekend. I've got bucket hats for myself, Ruby and Lola, that I want to sew up. I have got a Bella Loves floor top which has been cut out since last summer in this really gorgeous like crinkle effect. It's like a powder blue crinkle effect fabric that I got from New Craft House. I think I must have got it last year from the New Craft House. Absolutely gorgeous, or maybe I got it at the beginning of the year. Can't remember. But anyway, I want to get that sewn up because the weather's starting to get a little bit warmer, so I think that would be absolutely perfect for that warmer weather that I'm really optimistically hoping arrives. And I love the floor, the Bella Loves floor dress, but also the wrap. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous pattern. And then I would really like to get this jersey cut out and turned into the Sew Over Estelle dress, hopefully. I'm hoping I can get it at least cut out, if not completely sewn up. And then if I absolutely love the Nina, the Fibre Mood Nina dress when I finish it and it fits me, hopefully, if I fall in love with it as much as I think I'm going to, then I've got a couple of fabrics that I'd like to get cut out to start sewing up a few more versions of that gorgeous dress too. So lots and lots of plans as usual. So that was everything that I wanted to share with you today. I hope you've enjoyed hearing what I've been getting up to and seeing some of the things that I've been making. Please let me know down below what you're busy making at the moment. I always love to hear what your sewing plans are. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really love it if you could hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified of when I bring out my next video. Thank you as always for watching. Take care, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.